Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video. So you see the title, you see the thumbnail. Should the Chargers draft Chris Olave? Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State. He's originally a San Diego kid. So if the Chargers were back in San Diego, he would be a hometown kid. But obviously was a Charger fan growing up. You see some of the pictures online. Chris Olave is a very consistent. Well, he was a very consistent college receiver, and he was making splash plays, fresh out of high school, as a freshman at Ohio State, and he was pretty much consistent his entire career there. I think he got hurt his junior year. It was either his sophomore or junior year. He got hurt, missed a few games, but aside from that, the production has been there, and that's been with a couple different quarterbacks as well too. So that's always a good sign. Now, Chris Olave is a speed receiver right now. I think you can describe him as that. He does have a pretty good grasp of the route tree. He ran a lot of different routes at Ohio State. The highlight ones are the ones down, the rail routes down the field. Him beating DBs, but this year, I watched him, and I watched a lot of Ohio State games this year, and I seen him do a lot of run after the catch stuff this year, and I thought that was very impressive. And he was a guy I thought he was going to go pro after his junior year, but he came back for a senior year, played with a freshman quarterback this year, C.J. Stroud. And although C.J. Stroud struggled a little bit, Olave was a guy who always got open for him. So 4 years at Ohio State, 4 years at a big school, right? 4 years playing against guys who are going to be in the NFL. I think he is a guy, I think he is ready to contribute from day one. He obviously has the speed, he has the hands, and he can run every route in the route tree. And I think he is a guy who the Chargers really have been looking for, right? He fits the description, right? The Chargers have the big receivers. The Chargers have the possession guy, Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer is in that mode as well too, possession guy. All that really has been missing is a consistent speed guy who can run all of the routes. Now the Chargers do have a speed guy on the roster, Jalen Guyton, and his in the current offense that the Chargers run under Joe Lombardi. They really don't have him running a whole lot of routes. He runs maybe 2 or 3 routes, either really short or he goes deep. And you never really see him running drags over the middle. You never really see him, running post or post corners, whatever. He kind of runs the same amount of routes, and I think it's due to probably his route running ability. I don't think it is at a level that it needs to be, for him to be on the field that much. Chris Olave is a guy who can do it all. He's ran all of these routes in college for 4 years. Under 2 different quarterbacks as well too. So he is a guy that I think is ready. He's ready to contribute from day one. 6'1", 187 pounds that he's listed now. He looks a little lighter than 187 pounds. Because he's so fast. I think he is. I don't think he can be probably more than 180. It looks like to me, just eyeballing it. But 4.3, he ran 4.39 at the combine. That was his official time. Now watching the combine, he was timed at I think a 4.28 or something like that. When they were doing it live, but it was officially a 4.39. So he's a guy who can. He's a burner. He can get down the field. He can stretch the defense, and he has 4 years of big college experience. So I think that would, if the Chargers were to take him at 17, if he was available, I think that would greatly benefit him. Coming into a Chargers offense that is a little complex. That offense that the Saints, the Joe Lombardi got, from Sean Payton, it is a little complex. There are different things that they can do. There's a lot of different things that the Chargers want to do formation wise that they didn't do last year. So it could be a little difficult for him to pick up the playbook because he would be working in the slot, mostly. And so he and Justin Herbert would have to, really get on the same page and really be able to connect and have chemistry. They're going to have to get to a point where they can just look at each other and, they know, Olave knows what to do and Herbert knows where to throw the ball, especially ball placement, high, low, whatever it is. But I think the 4 years at Ohio State really, really, really is going to benefit him if he is there. Now, he had 65 receptions last year, his senior year, 2021. 65 receptions, 936 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And I think that is really, the 13 touchdowns really is the most impressive to me because anytime, I watch Ohio State and they have they're in the red zone, right? They're coming up on the end zone. Chris Olave was a master at getting open, especially in areas that didn't really have, too much, surface area for him to work in. He really was able to shake loose and, get free, to score a lot of touchdowns. Now, some of those were long balls, right? Some of them he just ran past people. And that's something that he's going to be able to do from day one. But I think being the ultimate, receiver, being a complete receiver, I think he has the tools, especially in the red zone. When you watch a lot of his highlights, he seems to excel too when the play breaks down and it's kind of a scramble drill. He seems to always run towards the open area, and to me that's very impressive. To me, that really shows that a receiver really understands the offense that he's running. He's not just out there running routes that get called for him. He really understands where the soft spots are, the defense, especially if the defense is playing zone, right? He knows where to go, he knows where to sit down, and he knows how to present a good target to a quarterback. So all of these traits are things that he has learned and he's picked up at Ohio State, right? Ohio State is a pretty good wide receiver university. So, I am confident that he learned a lot there that can translate to success in the NFL. The only thing is that if he is there, should the Chargers pick him? And, my answer is yes and no. I think it depends. I did a video a couple weeks ago about the other, wide receivers in the draft. I did cover Olave a little bit, but, to me, just watching, it looks like Jameson Williams is the guy who really could be the game breaker. He seems like he's the guy who is, he's in the mold of Devontae Adams type, but he's way more explosive and he's a lot faster. He runs away from people, and he did all season long. He's special, and I covered it. When he got hurt in the national championship game, tore his ACL and wasn't able to return. And obviously I thought that was a big reason why Georgia was able to win this national championship this past season. But he's a guy. He's rehabbing. He's going to get ready to go before training camp. And I think Jameson Williams is a guy I would rather have over Chris Olave. Now, Jameson Williams has been getting a lot of press. He's moving up a lot of people's draft boards. A lot of people are talking about him as being the most explosive player in the draft, which is something that I agree with wholeheartedly. So there is a good chance that Jameson Williams might not make it to 17, especially if you're a team who is, if you're late in the, not even late in the draft, but if you're early 20s or whatever, if you're a team that needs a explosive wide receiver, a trade up, I think Jameson Williams is going to be gone. If the team trades up for him to get in the top 15, I think he's gone. And I think he is a guy, his upside is higher than Chris Olave. Chris Olave is, like I said, he's consistent and he does a lot of things very, very well. And he has a pretty good pedigree. And he looks like a lot of his skills, a lot of the things that he does well are going to translate well to the NFL. But Jameson Williams is the game breaker. He's the guy that can change the game in one play. And, I think Olave has some of those same skills as well, too. But Jameson Williams, just his shiftiness, especially how, tall he is. He's a little slender. He looks like he can probably put on some more weight. And he probably will as an NFL player. But I think a lot of teams are really drawn to his explosiveness that he has and his run after the catch and his ability to run away from people. But Chris Olave would not be a bad choice at all. I wouldn't be upset if the Chargers took him at all. The Chargers do need somebody to stretch the field, and he is a guy, like I said, big college experience, 4 years, playing under several different quarterbacks, running all the routes, making all the reads, excelling in the scramble drills. He's a guy that can do it all. So I would not mind if the Chargers drafted him at all. If the Chargers want to go the route of wide receiver. Now there are a lot of options, that the Chargers can have. And I think a lot of it is going to depend on who's available. I've covered a lot of guys, and I think, there are going to be some guys who are not going to be available. Jordan Davis is a guy, he's moving up people's draft boards as well too. So he might not be available at 17. Jameson Williams might not be available at 17. There's guys who might not be available at 17. So, and if anybody's going to drop, if there's a big name that the Chargers love that's going to drop, then, maybe the Chargers go that way, if it's like a Derek Stingley or somebody, but, it's too hard to tell right now. There have been no indications on who the Chargers really, really want, and, a guy who they know is going to be available as well, too. There's going to be a lot of BS coming out this week, draft week. There's going to be a lot of teams trying to talk up other players, trying to push people's draft stock up, so they can backdoor and go and get the guy that they want. So, be prepared to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of that coming out this week. There always is come draft time, but it's a part of the business. It's a part of the strategy that a lot of teams have. So be looking forward to that. But I do think that Chris Olave is a realistic option at 17. Like I said, it would not upset me at all if he was a Los Angeles Charger, but only time can tell. And like I said, a lot of it depends on who's going to be available and who the Chargers really like and who they feel they can get, at 17, especially without trading up. Trading back is always an option too. I did a video on that last week, but we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. It's going to be a very interesting week, and can't wait for the draft on Thursday. But that's all I got for this one, guys. I think I'm going to go live and live stream the Chargers draft pick. I'll probably jump on, possibly at pick number 14 or, potentially. And that depends on if the Chargers hold their draft pick, if they don't trade it before the draft or whatever, or trade back, whatever. But I will be on live streaming for the live draft pick, and I will give my live reaction to who they pick. And but that's all I got for this one, guys. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Please like the video. And that's all I got for this one. So until next time, thank you.